Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another election prediction. This time we have President Joe Biden up against Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. So, in my videos, margins over 10% are safe states. I just find it a lot simpler that way. But let's get into all the safe red and safe blue states. So, as of right now, DeSantis' campaign is collapsing. It's falling apart. He's now struggling to beat Vivek Ramaswamy in some polls. He's vying for second there, surprisingly. But again, other polls show Vivek down, so it's kind of hard to say if those are just online polls inflating the numbers. But I am noticing a lot more positive direction towards Ramaswamy. So maybe in the next Republican primary video, I put him on there because I think I'm going to have to because of Vivek kind of moving up there in the polls. Maybe it's not just an online thing, but I kind of think it is. But let's get right into this. So the first few states, Colorado's safe Democratic. I really think that this state's just becoming a lot more favorable to the Democrats long term, and just progressive trends here are very strong for the Democrats. And the Colorado Republican Party is kind of collapsing, similar to the one in Michigan. But as of right now, it's safe Democratic. Florida. It's Ron DeSantis' home state. I think he wins it by 12 points against Joe Biden as of right now. He would probably outperform Trump by quite a bit in Florida, probably by about 4 points. He is the governor there. He'd have a lot more home state boost as well, because governors get a huge home state boost just compared to your average senator or something. But I think DeSantis would do quite well in Florida, but not so quite well everywhere else. In Iowa, he would underperform Trump. In Ohio, he would underperform Trump, as we've seen in the latest poll that only shows him leading by a lean Republican margin, which I doubt. I think DeSantis will still win it by 6 points. Same with Iowa at 6 points, but it's an underperformance of 2 points. He loses 2% of those voters there because, again, he's just so far right that he's losing those populist voters as well, even. He's losing those independents because, again, they're seeing how right-wing he's become, that it's definitely shifting a lot of those voters to Joe Biden or just not even wanting to vote. Like, Trump's the more moderate candidate than DeSantis at this point. He's probably going to do better with independents in most states as well. There's a few states DeSantis would do better than Trump, though. Let's get into them. Alaska, I think he performs about the same as Trump, honestly. I don't see him losing any more ground here. Texas, he would probably outperform Trump, though. I think he'd just do slightly better than just Trump's toxic rhetoric really would hurt him in the urban areas in Texas, which has a huge, massive population growth in those urban areas. But I don't think DeSantis outperforms Trump by much here. I think it's only by 2 points or so. So DeSantis wins Texas by 5 instead of Trump winning it by 3 in my last video. In New Mexico, would Trump do a bit better than DeSantis here? Would DeSantis do a bit better than Trump? Honestly, with how right-wing DeSantis has got, it's probably safe Democratic. A Biden 10% or 11% win. I don't really see much of a difference in the margin there. In Virginia, I could see it just being a 9% Biden win because, again, I could see like those DeSantis might be able to get some of those Republicans or those moderate Republicans in Virginia that just really hate Trump but like his policies. You'd probably be able to get those to vote for him, but still not making it competitive state at all. In Nebraska second, I don't even see this going down to lean at this point. I think it stays as likely due to how right-wing DeSantis has got on the issues. In Minnesota as well, it's probably going to stay as likely. In Maine, it's safe. In Maine second, probably still goes to Ron DeSantis, but only by 3 instead of 4. New Hampshire probably stays in the likely column as well. It's a socially liberal state. I really don't see DeSantis making enough ground to really shift it over to his camp. I mean, if we look at Biden's disapproval here, he's not even that disapproved of in New Hampshire. He has a real shot at making it a safe Democratic state in 2024 against DeSantis or Trump. But again, I don't think DeSantis really has a shot in, oh, that was an old map. But I don't really think DeSantis has a shot in New Hampshire. But in the 2 states DeSantis does have a shot in, we could take a look at the approval ratings here. North Carolina is definitely one of them. Biden's approval rating isn't great here, and neither it is in Georgia. But Georgia, it's a lot less bad. So in North Carolina, I think DeSantis would do a little bit better than Trump here. I'd probably do better with some of those more moderate Republicans or so, or the ones that really just dislike Trump's rhetoric. Yeah, the ones that dislike Trump's rhetoric, but like his policies. I could see DeSantis doing a bit better there. But DeSantis is to moderate himself. Otherwise, it's possibly that going down to tilt or even a Biden flip at this point. But for now, I think DeSantis wins North Carolina by 1% and or 1.5% and narrowly wins Georgia by under a tilt margin. Not lean anymore because, again, I think those comments about his education system would definitely hurt him here with African American voters. And he would probably lose a bit of ground among them in the urban areas due to those comments. But again, he isn't Trump, which would help him with some Republicans who really just hated Trump because of his rhetoric. In Nevada and Arizona, Nevada is probably going to shift a bit more Democratic just because of DeSantis signing a 6-week abortion ban in Florida. That's definitely going to hurt him. I think this is one of the most pro-choice swing states as well. Even the GOP governor in Nevada, he's pro-choice even. He signed a pro-choice bill because he knows that's what you need to win in Nevada. So again, DeSantis' abortion bill in Florida will definitely hurt him in a lot of these swing states, including Nevada especially. Arizona, these are one of the states DeSantis is constantly outpolling Trump, but you could argue that's just DeSantis' internal pollster, but I think there's something there that a lot of McCain Republicans dislike Trump here, but they would be willing to vote for DeSantis because, again, DeSantis is less toxic to them, even though DeSantis is more right-wing in most issues than Trump. But Arizona will probably be a bit closer, tilt Democratic margins. We see Nevada is more Democratic than Arizona this time around, which it usually isn't anymore. But in the 3 Rust Belt states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, I think DeSantis loses Michigan by a lot. I really think he loses it by 5 points to Joe Biden, just because he isn't as populist as Trump. We've seen him on the trade deals. He isn't as protectionist. So I think he loses a lot of those populist Trump voters in Michigan. Plus, he's just so far right that he'll definitely get a lot more independents to vote for Biden's side. And we're already seeing that the more DeSantis talks and the more visibility he gets in the campaign, the more unpopular he gets. So he's like the Republican version of like Hillary Clinton at this point. The more they talk, the more you don't like them. So DeSantis is definitely losing a lot of ground here as of right now. His campaign's kind of falling apart. He's pure luck that he has more electoral votes than Trump right now in my last prediction. Just pure luck because of Georgia. He would do a little bit better. And that's not even a guarantee. He could lose Georgia and North Carolina at this point with how his campaign's going. But he kind of lucks out. Biden doesn't have the best approval rating in North Carolina. But in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, I really think that Biden probably easily wins Pennsylvania against DeSantis. Probably by about 3% or so. Same with Wisconsin, honestly. I don't think he's a good populist candidate, DeSantis, anymore. I think he's going to lose margins among those populist Trump voters, not do as well among them. Plus, he did vote to cut Social Security as well, which Biden could campaign on. He signed a very negative abortion bill that's not that popular. That'll definitely hurt him. So, long term, I really think DeSantis is totally losing ground here, especially in the Rust Belt, especially in the swing states. He's taking the most unpopular position, sticking with it. He needs to fix his campaign at this point. Otherwise, Biden's going to easily win re-election against Ron DeSantis. As of right now, the popular vote probably goes to Biden by 3 points against Ron DeSantis, if I would say that. But I'll see you guys in the next video.